need to announce the drive.
What up, Austin, Texas? Welcome back to another live edition of the 1 hour news break brought to you by the 2 hour lunch break podcast. I am Saint, one half of the 2 hour lunch break, and we are here at Dawa Studios, east side of Austin ATX. Today is Tuesday, June the 4th, and we've got a fantastic show lined up for you.
And I'm Trotwood Zeus, the other half of the 2 hour lunch break podcast. Before we dive in, man, let's get a shout out to our sponsor, Dawa Studios, for making this live podcast possible. Big thanks to them for their ongoing support and commitment to our community. For those of you tuning in for the first time, the 2 hour lunch break is all about celebrating and amplifying the voices of, black and brown entrepreneurs, artists, etc., all throughout the city. As a matter of fact, I mean, if you ever noticed, our logo says a podcast for Austin, from Austin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So today we're going to switch things up a little bit. Instead of our usual interviews and just, talking our stuff, we're going to talk about the latest events here in Austin and also across the nation and bringing you our takes on what's happening, local news and national headlines.
So sit back, relax, get your favorite brew.
Yes, sir.
Get ready for some engaging conversation, man. As always, you can catch us. You can catch all of our episodes on your favorite streaming platforms. And don't forget to check us out on Instagram at 2HLBpod and on X at the 2 hour lunch. Let's get to it.
Let's get into it. And as you can see, we got two special guests in the building. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves for the people. What's going on?
Appreciate it, man. My name is Shannon Harris. I own a brewery that's called Urban Jungle Brewing. It'll be the first black-owned brewery here in Austin, Texas. I'm by way of Louisiana, but moved here to Austin back in 2016 from California.
Okay.
But I've been in the craft beer industry for probably about 10 years now. Started out as like a consultant, senior social media marketer to try to help brew brands build it up. Eventually, I started home brewing, winning a lot of awards and stuff, and then it just came to fruition that like I want to learn how to do it commercially.
Nice.
Once I started getting my hands on working with breweries like, Guinness Brewing and working in breweries in like Africa, Mexico, Italy, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get on my LeBron mode and take my talents to South Beach and decided I'm going to open up my own brewery. I was making all of these good beers and money for all these other cats. So I decided, let me do my own thing. So Urban Jungle Brewing is what I got going on right now.
There it is.
There we go. We got another guest. We got a former
alum.
2HLB alum.
Yeah.
Put it up on us, man. Reintroduce yourself for the people that don't
Big
already.
dog, I am him. Marvis Dixon, also known as the middleman here in Austin. I work for Fast Friends Beer Co. as their distro and sales guy. But I'm also a big advocate in the community for the BIPOC community to just spread the word about craft beer and diversity in craft and diversity outside. Also, I am Rich's Art Gallery's director of alcohol too.
Nice.
So, yeah, man, I'm just happy to be back with my boy here and y'all too, man. And let's get it going.
Yeah. So tell us what's brewing, what's going on
Right.
with y'all.
Man, we got moves being made. As you can see, we got some sample beers here. I got beers that come out under my own brand, Urban Jungle.
Okay.
But me and Marvis has linked up together to work on a olive branch of a beer opportunity to help bring more diversity and inclusion in the craft beer. A couple of years ago, after George Floyd passed away, there was a brewery here in Texas called Weather Souls. Shout out to my boy Marcus, who started the Black is Beautiful movement. We kind of piggybacked off of that, to say like, as a community, how can we really bring more people into the craft beer industry? Not just black, not just brown, but more women, more people in the LGBTQIA community, and that's what we do with As One. Make low alcoholic beers with a lot of flavor. Throw some cultural parties where we got some DJs, some music, some food out there and stuff, and just try to show people like in the community that this is a vibe that y'all can get down with. So that's what we on right now.
There we go.
Yeah, and it's pretty crazy because we met right before COVID hit too. So, I think we talked a lot during COVID, and then after COVID, things cleared up, and I was going to college, and I said, man, I want to do a podcast, but man, I said, why don't we do a beer collaboration? I work at Fast Friends, the two beers that are on there. Also, it was our 1 year anniversary was this past weekend.
Shout out.
And big ups to Fast Friends. Shout out to the team. And you know, this collaboration that me and him have done, I think we're going on number 7.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And now taking it to the space of art with Rich at the gallery. So, you know, it's been real good to be able to bring what we bring in our community as beer, but take it to another space. So it's just been great, man.
Okay. So I was gonna say, man, let's talk Rich's Art Gallery, right? So I know
Yeah.
off air, I know you said y'all got some big things coming, man. Talk about that. What's happening at Rich's Art Gallery?
Man, he has that. Man, that this weekend for him is great. It's a 3-year anniversary.
3-year anniversary to Rich.
Yeah, shout out to Rich. Happy anniversary, man.
Okay.
I love him to death. It's like family to me.
Yeah.
But the art of collaboration is another like branch off of As One. So, you know, 6 different artists that he has, which he is one of them, and they are collaborating on some pieces.
Okay.
And donations from that will go to our As One initiative. So. Big up to Rich, and there's also a fashion show on Friday too. So
Yeah,
there's still
boat
tickets.
party on Saturday that's gonna be turned.
Boat party sold out though.
Yeah, you know, it's just about to get wild, but it's cool that Rich actually did one of the labels for one of our As One beers that we did here locally with another brewery. And I mean, that label just came out amazing, and it really showcases community and, you know, unison between us on the art of a can label, and that'll be showcased out at this thing too. So it's also a kind of leading up to our next As One beer that'll be dropping down in Houston on June 21st. So yeah, looking forward to that one. So turning up, man.
Yeah, big ups to them, even though we ain't gonna say the name yet.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I'm sure somebody from that. Yeah, they're watching.
Yeah, Houston's watching. Houston's ready
y'all
for
know
us to be
what's
out
going
there.
on.
Yeah.
Y'all know what's going on. So tell us about the new brewery that you're establishing, creating. Tell us about the brands that you're creating that you're very fond of. Give me a beer that you're passionate about, that you like. This is my baby right here.
Ooh, man, I'm passionate about just beer in general, but it's mostly about community, like just trying to create that safe space. I remember when I first got into craft beer, I remember walking into a tap room and kind of being shunned and ignored in the tap room because I was the only brother in there. And at the same time, you know, I wasn't even like in the beer like that. I just was like, let me just go to a brewery. It's in my neighborhood.
Right.
And, you know, I'm standing in line and they just, you know, serving everybody up. You know, try this, try that. Let me give you the whole breakdown of beer. And as soon as I come up, it's what you want. You know, growing up in our communities, we was really on like malt liquor and all that things that showcase was not the craft of it. So experiencing that makes it want to be from my tap room. Is like, how can I make it to where it don't matter if it's your first time drinking beer, it don't matter if you just turned 21, it don't matter if you black, brown, Hispanic, woman, whatever it may be, we gonna have something for you. So when it comes to beer, I'm passionate about like my IPAs, my sours, my stouts. Urban Jungle Brewery, the plan is for it to also be a coffee roastery and a bakery. I have a strong background in baking, so I'm trying to incorporate a lot of pastries inside of my beers. So I'm really known for the style of pastry style or pastry inspired beers. So I try to incorporate a lot of those ingredients into my beers. This Friday, actually up in Georgetown, I do have a beer releasing toasted pecan brown ale that we also are going to age a portion of it in bourbon barrels. So you know, just trying to get a little, trying to get a pecan pie, take it back to my granny, you know. So that'll be dropping on Friday in Georgetown. Yeah.
Okay. So I was gonna say, I see y'all brought the samples, man. Talk about what do we got up here? What are we dealing with?
We got an assortment.
Yeah.
Well, what Saint over there is drinking is a New Zealand hazy IPA called Mata Mata, right? And that's from Fast Friends. And then Zeus over here, you went in, and I don't know why you grabbed it. I think you grabbed it because you love the design. So
No joke.
It's colorful.
that's a triple IPA.
I
That's
feel
10%.
all 3 of them.
I feel all three.
Right.
So that was our anniversary beer from
Okay.
our 1-year anniversary that we brewed, you know, and and then I'm drinking the double IPA Billy Cannon from us. So
Nice. I have to say, they're absolutely delicious. Like for real.
Good. That's good.
For real.
Yeah, I ain't gonna get into my beer too deep. I brought the one that's in that kind of beige white label with the green jungle on it. That's a 16% alcohol beer. It's called a barley wine. It aged 2 years in bourbon barrels from Garrison Brothers. And then we dosed it up with 4 different vanilla beans from Indonesia, Brazil, New Papua New Guinea, and Mexico. So it's a doozy, but I was like, I still got to drive, so I'm just got that here for show. But that one, y'all taste that one a little later.
Yeah, and then the one in the middle is the Winter Warmer that we did as one with Nomadic Beer Works that's in South Austin. Shout out to them. So this is very great. Molasses, some
Yeah,
cinnamon
molasses,
vibes.
cinnamon, orange peel. So yeah, that was a good beer for the winter time.
Easy drinking, too.
Easy drinking.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
only like 5.5%. So
Oh,
came out
okay.
pretty good.
Small.
Actually, no, that one's 8, but it drinks like 5.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Okay. Dang, y'all boys be doing it right here.
we in this
'Cause
beer game.
You're sitting at 10% with yours.
Yeah, I'm
right?
at 10%.
Yeah.
I am.
I'm about
yeah,
8
it's
over
10%.
here.
I'm 6.6 and I'm sweating. I'm not gonna even lie to you.
Sweating. Damn.
Real deal.
So tell me a little bit more about the brewery game here in Austin. We talked a little bit about it on our conversation when you came on the platform. What are you trying to gather and grasp with teaching brown and black individuals and just the minority population as a whole in Austin to get when they come to your spaces?
Man, they just need to show up. I mean, the biggest thing is representation, I think.
Right.
And I think when people see that there's people that work there that look like us, they're more comfortable. It makes them want to be more in that space, And I think it's just we should be supporting each other and people that we, if you know somebody work at a brewery, like go visit them, go hang out, go to their spaces. Maybe you never been before. And I feel like some people are just a little scared because they're used to the regular stuff, right? But
Right.
this is local. It may not be brewed by somebody but at least it's local. It's in your community, and there's people that look like you in those spaces.
Yeah, and I guess just piggyback off him from the consumer aspect, like on the ownership side, we just need more representation. There's over 9,000 breweries in this country. Less than 1% of them are minority owned. Just in the United States, I mean, there's only about 60 to 70 breweries that are actually black owned, and maybe about 30 of them actually have a brick and mortar. So what I'm doing is just trying to show more representation that no, we don't just have to be behind the bar, and no, we don't have to just be in the kitchen washing glasses. Like, we have ownership stake in it. How do we put back into the community? Breweries love to drop down in our neighborhoods, spin our music in their tap rooms, but have no representation of us, and that's what I want to bring to the table. So there's actually a new brewers organization, the National Black Brewers Association, which is really uplifting and having grants and educational purposes that can help more people of color want to proceed in their career in craft beer. So shout out to the National Black Brewers Association for that. But yeah, I'm just here for more representation on the ownership side of it.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. So I'm curious, right? So since y'all have gotten started, like making a concerted effort as far as like, diversity, inclusion, all those different things, what type of progress have y'all seen in that bit of time? Is it like super slow? Is it a grind, or is it or things been moving? Like, what has that been looking like for y'all?
Man, trying to open a brewery is a grind. I'm still in the brewery planning stages. I don't really have a tap room yet, but I do get the opportunity to brew at other breweries. So major shout out to everyone who lets me use their systems to get my product out. But man, it's a grind. We got to kind of think about where it is today. Back in the 70s, it was hard for black people to get loans. They had a loan for homes, but for businesses. And now we're in a much broader market to where it's like, how do we find that avenue to where black people have access to those same funds that these other people had to open up breweries. So it's really just getting out there and networking, being able to talk to like organizations like 100 Black Men of Austin, getting on podcasts that really showcase for our people, showing up the organizations, for like Dawa or Rich or somebody like that, to where we can have that representation where it's like, maybe I can sell some beer, maybe I can give out some stickers, maybe I can sell some shirts, but just trying to put that brand out there to show them. But man, it's been tough. There's a lot of red tape in Austin just with permits, dealing with the city. I do commercial real estate as my day job, so I see what people go through in and out when it's from retail to office, and now me trying to open up an alcohol business. Texas is wild. You can buy guns, but women can't get no abortions. But Lord forbid you try to get some alcohol put out there, man, especially on a Sunday. Like, they gonna be on you out here. So it's been real tough for me, but I'm sticking out the grind. I've been chasing this dream of opening up my own spot for about 2.5, almost 3 years now. So I made the progress of being able to travel all over the world and country to brew beers and get my brand out, but getting that brick and mortar is just like still out there in the distance. But your boy grinding for it though.
There we go.
Yeah, and I think for me, I think it's been very welcoming. We all have challenges day by day when you're talking about diversity and inclusion, right? But I think it's been very welcomed by the people we've collabed with, the people that we've met, the organizations that we worked with. So I think that's great to see. It's not slow progress, but it's progress. You know what I mean? I think all the time we get hit up by people and talk to people that, hey man, we tried this beer somewhere, you know, just, it's small talk, but it's important because some people they're not telling you that they went to a craft beer place and got an IPA. They're saying, I went and had, you know, 2 or 3 Lone Stars somewhere, you know. You know, it's great to see that people do show up to our events, and most of the collabs that we've done here in Austin, they've sold out. So that tells us we're doing what we're supposed to do by, you know, promoting what we've been promoting for As One, you know. And I think like the space that I work in at Fast Friends, it is very much well so that everybody's friendly, everybody's welcoming each other, and that's what it's all about.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Speaking of events, you just mentioned it. Let's run through those events one more time. I know you said you had an event on Friday. I know we talked about the event in Houston. Let's run down that list so everybody knows.
Man, we can get it in order. So Friday gonna be a big day. If y'all find y'all way up to the north side, we're gonna be up in Georgetown at a brewery called Bark and Armadillo. That's where I have that toasted pecan brown ale coming out, 5% beer. It's gonna be on tap only, but it's gonna be really refreshing and cool. And then we're gonna age a portion of that in bourbon barrels that'll come out a little later in the year. And I mean, Friday is when Rich popping on, so it's gonna be a doozy for me. I gotta be up in Georgetown. I gotta get down to Rich.
So Friday is still tickets to come to that opening of the 3-year anniversary and the Art of Collaboration. Saturday, unfortunately, unless you know somebody or someone gives their ticket away, that is sold out. But also I'll throw on the table that I do host with DJ G Nice and DJ Yo Colombo at Daydreamers Keep It Cute. So that's something new that I jumped in this space of promoting and being the host for that. So that's the second Saturday of the month we do that, but this month it'll be on the 15th. Saturday the 15th. So come out, support. No dress code, none of that. Just come have a good time.
Yeah, and then if y'all do make y'all way down to Houston, June 21st is where we have our next As One beer. That's going to be a pineapple blonde ale with a brewery called Eureka Heights. We got a pop-up market, some food trucks, some DJs that's coming out there spinning, and we're actually holding an annual event that I'll co-host with called Brothers in Craft Beer, where a bunch of black men from across the country who drink beer meet up in different cities the weekend after Father's Day every year. And this year we'll be turning up in Houston on that same day. So it's going to be pretty black in Houston on the 21st if y'all come out there to drink that beer.
I love it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, man, before we wrap up, man, where, plug your social medias. Where can everybody find y'all at?
Man, you can find me on social media. The brewery is called Urban Jungle. The tag on Instagram is at Urban Jungle Brew. If you want to get more into my personal lifestyle, I'm at The Brew Brother. So follow me on those 2 handles.
There we go.
And me, there's only one. The middleman _ ATX.
Yes, sir.
So that's where you can find me, or you just come to the brewery and say, hey, we saw Marvis, so we know Marvis.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, this is another edition of the 1 Hour Lunch Break Podcast. We'll be right back. We got to pay some bills real quick.
And we back. Zeus P, St. Jude. Let the light in, man. It's the 2 hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2 hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. Coming to you live, putting on for the free. This is that 2 hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. And we back. Zeus P, St. Jude. Let the light in, man. It's the 2 hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2 hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. Coming to you live, putting on for the free. This is that 2 hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. And we back. Zeus P, St. Jude. Let the light in, man. It's the 2 hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lake.
Coming to you live, putting on for they city.
This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lake. And we back, and we back. Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man. It's the 2-hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lake.
Coming to you live, putting on for they city.
This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lake. And we back, and we back. Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man. It's the 2-hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lake.
Coming to you live, putting on for they city.
This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lake. And we back, and we back.
And we are back. Thank you guys so much. We just had to pay some bills real quick. How we living, Zeus? How you
Oh
feeling?
man, we good, man. Just got done chopping it up.
Yeah.
You know, with the middleman in the Brew Brothers.
Yeah, the brew bro.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Shout out to them guys pulling up on us.
Yep.
They got a bunch of events to check out.
For the city.
Tap in with those guys, man.
Yes,
they got a bunch of things moving. If you wanna do a deep dive in the brewing industry, man, those guys are the guys to reach out to, man. So shout out to them for pulling up on us. They off camera.
Yeah.
They blessed us with with some brews. So we gonna be taking this home, man, for the personal libations.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So shout out to them, man. But how are you doing personal life, man? What's been going on with you lately, though?
Man, a lot, man. Just working through day-to-day stuff. But I think it's been an amazing week, man. I'm really excited about what's transitioning in the life. You know, having a great time with the kids. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Even though they're home for the summer.
Right.
We doing some really interesting stuff. We finna start doing our next little special event. My wife came up with an idea to do a science project.
Okay.
So we're gonna have
During the summertime?
Yeah, for the summertime. It's for the
All
summertime.
right.
It's gonna. I like it. I think it's gonna be dope.
Okay.
They better not have no volcano blow up in my house though.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
She got
That's
you
all
on
I'm saying.
a homework assignment.
Right,
It's on a
right.
homework assignment.
What about you? What's going on?
Oh man, just wrapping up the school year. Both of my daughters, man, they wrapping up, getting ready for summer camp. So we've been prepping for that. Paying all the registration fees. And, just all that stuff, and then also, man, we getting ready. My oldest daughter, her birthday's coming up.
Yes.
This weekend she's turning 8. So yeah, I still can't believe it, man. It's surreal. I'm gonna have a whole 8-year-old on Sunday. You know what I mean? Like who would have thunk it?
Hey, man.
I was the one. I was like, I ain't never gonna have kids. I ain't never having kids. Now look at me. Now
Boom.
I got 2 babies that be harassing me.
Boom.
All day, every day, man.
Won't leave daddy alone.
Right, yeah, man. But it's been good. I'm enjoying them, seeing, watching them grow up and all that, man. They're good kids. So
Yeah.
I'm proud of them. They doing what they gotta do, man.
Amen.
So yeah, summer camp.
That's
Getting
important.
started.
Let's
you
get
know.
to it. Let's get to it. That's most important. Want to give a special shout out to the lovely wives in the building.
Right, yeah. Shout out
Who
to
here?
the wives. Beautiful queens. Beautiful black queens. I love you, baby.
And if you are watching us live, we are also on in Austin's local channel, Channel 10, Austin Film Society channel.
Yes.
That you can watch and check us out live right now. We're streaming live right now, but also on every social media platform as well. So make sure you guys check us out and tap in. But let's talk more. Speaking of registration, did you hear about? Did we talk about the text dot? I think we need to talk about that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So TxDOT, there's been a thing that's come up with TxDOT. They're arguing in court that I-35, Interstate 35, that runs right through downtown Austin, has never caused racial discrimination, which is actually contradicting a report they've made in the past.
Yes.
So what's going on is apparently they're arguing in federal court that there were no, that it didn't unfairly disadvantage Black and Latino Austinites, contradicting their own historical assessments in when Howey opened in 1962. This is the Texas Attorney General Office is arguing this on behalf of TxDOT. So apparently there is a suit attempting to stop the expansion of I-35. Of course, that's already in motion, so that's not stopping. It's not stopping anything. So because of that suit, this report has come out. And so for anybody that's really aware, I-35, the route that I-35 runs on, right? It actually used to be a street called East Avenue, which was the historical marker between Black East Austin and white downtown and West Austin. Right. So that was like, you know, the unofficial racial segregation line. So what's going on is, for people that don't know, that aren't from the city, right? Austin, East Austin, wasn't actually all black. Like black and brown people actually used to be all over the city, right? And there's this thing that came about in 1928 called the 1928 City Plan, right? And so what happened with that is, in the 1928 City Plan, there were a lot of social engineers that came into Austin, studied the city, checked out what was happening, checked out the different demographics of the areas that were all over town, and there were a bunch of, they called for a bunch of schools, parks, and a bunch of like other civic resources for black and brown Austinites to be built east of what was then East Avenue, right? So basic services like sewer lines, paved roads, they were denied to a lot of the freedmen communities that were all over town. Like say for instance, there were a bunch of different places. Like there's a neighborhood called Clarksville in Wheatsville, and Clarksville and Wheatsville are West Austin. That's West 35th Street, West 10th Street. Once upon a time, that was all black.
You're right.
Right? Because that was a historical freedmen's community, right? And because of the 1928 city plan, a lot of those people were basically displaced and forcibly removed to the east side. And so I'm not gonna lie, personally, like with all that context is given, bro, and especially being a native Austinite,
right.
I'm actually kind of insulted.
Yes.
Like it's a very insulting report. Like it's literally contradicting fact. Right? Like there's been studies, there's been like people, like you can see it with your own eyes.
Right.
Like hundreds of thousands of people over time since that 1928 city plan have been displaced. And then when I-35 was built, it basically cut off that population from the rest of the city.
Right.
You know,
Right.
So
I would have to completely agree with you. I mean, I
Yeah.
think the notion that it's not designed for this city is literally a book folded out on this side, and IH-35 is, I mean, it is literally a marker that identifies, you know, East and West, black and brown, black and minority, I mean white and minority, excuse me, and whatever have you. I think the biggest issue here is, I mean, Attorney General, we need 35 larger. I'm sorry. You need to stop. You got to stop it.
Yeah.
35 needs to grow. It needs to be larger. There's too much dang on traffic. It makes no sense that it takes me 45 minutes to go 15 miles. Okay? So let's start there. Number one.
Right.
Number two, the fact that you guys are going to claim that this is not real or not a reality is ludicrous to me.
Yeah.
Because this whole city has been kind of built off of this.
Right.
And so that's extremely frustrating. You know, just honestly, don't even say anything about it. Just keep the peace and just be like, hey, look, we're expanding 35 like you've been saying, and just keep moving about your business. Keep moving about the cabin. That's my personal opinion.
Because I mean, the thing is, like, bro, like we had even talked about it on a previous live. Like we were talking about Rainey Street.
Right.
Right. Like Rainey Street is at this point west of 35.
Right.
Historically, that was a Mexican
Mexican-American
American neighborhood.
Yep.
Right. Like there's like buildings there. Like I don't know if you've seen like the Palm School. That used to be the historical, you know, Mexican school. You know, it was what used to be the East Side. That whole area got cut off, you know, from their community, man. So it's a lot of factors that go into that displacement. And just like you were saying, bro, like this expansion, well, not even necessarily expansion, because they're not really going to expand it. More than anything, they're going to like dig it into the ground and go over the top of it. And then I think what they're going to do is over the top of what will be 35, they're going to do like, you know, your lined city streets. Like it's gonna be a continuation of those neighborhood streets into downtown versus being cut off by just a wall of
Whopping
like
35
concrete.
highway.
You know what I mean? So I do think that needs to happen. If I'm gonna keep it a buck, it should have I-35 should have never cut through the route that it did.
Oh, absolutely. Whoever created this, the building managers and planners and city ordinance, whoever created this highway, that's crazy. I've never been to a city where it's not kind of set up almost as a grid, right? Where you can get to one side of the city through another by using one street.
Right.
The sad part is a lot of these streets you have to get on 35 in order to get to where you want to go sometimes. Even though Austin is a giant circle, I mean, you could take in 183, for example. You can literally loop around and use the one MOPAC as well as another example to loop around on the upper west north side. But yeah, I think this is kind of wild. I think
Yeah.
It's kind of wild.
So what I will say, I do think with the way that highways were constructed, it was essentially catering to the automobile industry, right? So before highways were built, a majority of the nation's cities were all walkable,
Right.
All had dense neighborhoods.
Right.
You didn't have to drive 20 minutes to go to the grocery store. You didn't have to drive 20 minutes to take your kids to school. You didn't necessarily have driving wasn't necessarily a required thing to do in your day-to-day life.
Right.
If anything, everything that was necessary for your life was in like a 1 mile radius. Your school, your store, any of those civic resources. It was all available to you, and essentially a one-stop shop. And when those highways started being built, because the thing is it's not just Austin.
Yeah.
Right. Like this is a nationwide thing. And when they built those highways, they displaced a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And of course, that's happened. Just like I was saying, it's happened in every major city. It's not just Austin. When you think about here, it's a bunch of black and brown people that got displaced. When you think about we could throw out Philadelphia, right? When they built neighborhoods, when they built highways going right through, they tore down a bunch of black and brown neighborhoods and displaced a lot of people. When you think about, you could throw out Baltimore, right? A bunch of black people got displaced to build a highway.
Very true.
Like everywhere you look in a major city where there's a major interstate or something like that, the black and brown people in that area got displaced. Their housing got raised for, I think it was called like urban blight or something.
Urban development.
Right, yeah.
Construction movement. Yeah.
Something like that,
Yeah,
man. So like I said, I feel like on behalf, I'm not a fan of the Texas Attorney General's office anyway, because they got a lot of things happening, but we're not going to get too deep into that. But this is a report that should have never occurred. They're contradicting themselves from earlier reports that they've already made. And they could have just like you were saying, they really could have just done without this and just, and kept it moving. They could have tried to dispute it or whatever.
Yeah.
But to try to pull some, ahistorical information, I just wasn't a fan of it at all, man. They gotta do better, man. They gotta tighten up.
Yeah, no, for real. I did another form of redlining in my opinion.
Right.
So it's very frustrating. But I think the city is something. This is something that we can highlight on and reflect and identify that the city is growing, it's developing. Even though some stuff is messed up, we can still work on the betterment of this city and the organization as a whole, and this entity called the City of Austin. Whether you're, chilling out at Lake Travis, whether you're at, Lady Bird Lake, Mount Burnell, wherever have you, this city is thriving and has amazing things going on in the city. Don't you agree?
Oh yeah. Getting ready for that. So it's a lot of stuff you can do in the water. Getting ready for the summertime.
Yeah.
All that kind of piggybacking on what you were talking about. I was gonna say, bro. Speaking of summertime and water, man. Town Lake. Well, my bad.
Lady Bird Lake. Yeah, you gotta fix it.
I'm sorry. I'm a native Austinite, so it's Town Lake to me.
Yeah.
So the city of Austin.
Yes.
Right. They're gonna be treating a lot of the toxic like blue and green algae that blooms all over Town Lake. I think it started this week.
Right.
So for anybody that's familiar with this has actually been going on for a couple of years now. So they're going to be treating portions of Town Lake. I want to say starting this week. This is going to be Red Bud Isle. There's also I think there's like some boat ramps off of Lady Bird Lake.
Okay.
West 35, and it's also near Festival Beach Boat Ramp. The thing is with this, the algae, it can put a lot of people at, a lot of people at risk if you get in that water. You put your pets at risk. You got your dogs.
Oh, man, yeah.
All that stuff. Aquatic ecosystem, just drinking water. It can get nasty. You know what I mean?
Stay away from that.
Yeah, man, you gotta stay on top of
I
that.
think they said that in the news that somebody, a dog happened, like in 2021, something happened.
Yeah.
the
So in 2021, this was of course during the pandemic, so a lot of people were just trying to, get outside and just do whatever.
Yeah.
They were taking their pets out on Town Lake, and there were some dogs that they ingested some of that stuff, and they might have licked it off some clothing, and I want to say like 7 or 8. Dogs
man.
got sick and died.
Oh man, that's unfortunate.
From contact with that algae, and of course that's not on an every single time basis, but you just don't want to risk that.
Yeah, right,
You know what I
right,
mean? Like
right.
we got pets and all that stuff. Y'all got pets.
Yeah.
And the last thing that I would want to do is to put our animals at risk, man, by just trying to have a good time and trying to get out and have some fun, and they mess around and ingest something that we're not aware of. And they get sick, man. So yeah, shout out to the city for being proactive,
Right.
and just trying to protect the community, man.
Yeah, no, that's definitely big because I could see a lot of people going out to the city and just vibing, enjoying themselves at Lady Bird Lake.
Right, right.
And that's a problem or issue when you go out to your community you don't even want to experience, right? You don't even want to have that. That's probably not even a forethought in your mind,
Right.
That's just so far back. It's like I want to have fun, I want to enjoy myself,
For the summer.
and this, I'm here for the summer. I'm here for a good time, not a long time, right?
Yeah.
So,
speaking of the summertime,
talk to me. Talk to me.
got a lot of Austin schools providing free meals over the summer.
Yum yum.
Right?
Tum tum.
So, so summer meals program is ramping up.
Yeah.
As the school year is winding down for all the kids. There's some school districts that are still in, but this is basically wrapped up by the end of this week. Right. So they're offering throughout the Austin area. It's going to be free meals to ensure kids and young adults have access to healthy meals while school is out.
Okay.
So I think it said it's a really big issue in the state of Texas as far as when kids are out of school, they don't have access to meals on a day-to-day basis. I think they said like 1 in 5
Yikes.
children in Texas experiences hunger, and that's a number that's way too high. It shouldn't be the number. In a perfect world that'd be 0.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the state of Texas and a lot of school districts in Texas are doing what they can to try to circumvent a lot of those issues with hunger.
Yeah, and I think we mentioned this in one of the last podcasts and episodes. Like eating these healthy meals during the summer means students return back to school, ready to go, right, ready to eat, and not having that sense of malnourishment. So I think this is an amazing program. So any child 18 years or younger can participate in the summer meals program regardless of household income, as they can enroll students with disabilities who are not older than 21. So make sure you guys check that out. People can find the summer meals site a few ways. You can dial 211, or you can also text food to 304-304.
Well, we gotta say comida.
Oh, comida.
You gotta get the
Comida.
Spanish
Yes,
in there
they
too.
gotta get
Comida.
that.
Text comida to 304-304.
Amen.
Now,
Amen.
I was gonna say, in addition to that, you can also visit www.summerfood.org. Austin ISD, they're providing free meals this summer at, I want to say, like 38 different campuses. Of course, dates and times vary by campus, so look into that. 15 schools will be providing meals they've already started on May 28th. It's a couple things like Allison Elementary, Betachek Middle School, Navarro Early College High School, just to name a few. There's some other districts as well that are looking into this, right?
Pflugerville ISD. So shout out to Alex Okafor.
Hey, yeah.
So yeah, we'll begin providing meals on June the 3rd. So that was yesterday. At seven campuses. So River Oaks Elementary. Weiss.
Ah,
Yeah,
gotta
I
get
always
that-
mess that up.
gotta get that
Always
German
mess that up. Yeah, I know,
pronunciation.
right? And then other school districts are set to offer free meals as well. So Leander ISD, Round Rock, Dale Valley, and also Hayes. So make certain that you check that out. And also, in addition to that, recreation centers and churches and even apartment complexes are participating in the program. So as you can see, it takes a village, right? So this entire community is rallying together to make these things happen. So make certain you guys check that out because that's very important, man.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
gotta take care of these babies.
yeah, right, for real. Because I mean,
know?
you know, like you said, I know your baby's starting summer program. I'm gonna make certain my boys in football, make certain he makes it happen.
Right.
My daughter, she's gonna be in volleyball, but we'll probably, I don't know, maybe might get her in softball like we talked about. Because you know what I'm saying, I'm loving them Texans. I'm loving them.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You got me
Speaking
hooked.
of Texas softball,
You got me hooked.
right? So for people that don't know, it's actually kind of become a recurring thing with our lives.
Yeah.
Right? We've been keeping track of
Yeah.
Texas women's softball team. Their run to the college.
And my boy's
women's-
batting 1,000. Okay,
right?
for
Hey,
predictions.
hey,
Okay.
I've been batting 1,000 every single time. Right? So #1 Texas women team.
Mm-hmm.
They just reached the world champion, the women's college World Series, right? So they just beat Stanford. They played yesterday, right? They played yesterday also.
Yep.
Got Stanford up out of here.
Yeah.
Right? So I told them, hey, we gonna them Cardinals is gone.
Gotta
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Texas softball, man.
Shout out.
So they're gonna play either the winner of Oklahoma or Florida next in a best of 3 championship series that will be starting tomorrow. So we'll find out who's gonna be the winner of that. And then we're gonna get them up out of there too. You know what I mean?
Y'all looking for a shit.
Right. So shout out to them.
That's what's up, man.
Prediction.
Yes. Let
Right?
me hear it. I need to know it.
Like you said, I've been batting 1,000.
Yeah.
Right. So
Is it gonna happen?
I don't think Oklahoma got anything for us.
They getting up out of here.
I don't think Florida got nothing for us. Right. I'm gonna go with Texas women's softball, man.
Okay.
We gonna sweep the series no matter who we play. We're gonna
Sweep
get
the
them up out
series.
of there, get to the next round.
All right.
And you know what I'm saying?
We doing
I'm-
scores? We doing scores so I can bet?
I ain't
for
gonna
it?
go that
Okay,
far.
okay.
I ain't gonna go that far, but I know we're gonna get whoever we got in front of us, man. We're gonna get them up out of here.
Yeah.
We're gonna make another step to this national championship run. Hey, if y'all win that thing, y'all need to have me at the parade. It's like I'm good juju, man.
Yeah.
I've been voting. Like I said, I've been batting
They've
1,000.
been batting 1,000.
since we started
Can't
this
even
thing,
lie.
man. So yeah, hey, lock me in, lock us in.
Right.
The 1 hour news break brought to you by the 2 hour
2
lunch
hours.
break podcast, man. Have us pull up.
Yeah.
We'll tap in, man.
Yeah.
I like burnt orange. I wear a
Right.
jersey. I wear hats. You know
We
what
can
I'm saying?
announce. We can be news anchors. You
Right,
know what I mean?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we're here.
Tap in with us,
We're
man.
here.
Tap in with us.
We're here, man. I'd love to do that though. I think
Right.
that would be super dope.
Right.
I think that would be super dope.
Right, man. So I was gonna say, man,
Yeah.
on another note, man. I know being from Texas, right? I know we're big Cowboys fans.
Yes.
Right. Well, I don't know if you're Cowboys fans. You grew up in Cali.
Yeah, not so
So
much. But,
I don't know how you feel about that, but my pops is a big Cowboys fan, and I remember growing up as a kid. I remember he would take me to like their spring training when they were in Austin. They used to do it at a couple seasons at St. Edwards,
yes.
and this was like the
That was-
early years,
that was
like
that was way back in the gap.
Yeah, so like Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith. Like I remember seeing them as a kid, and that was always ingrained in me. I never became the fan, but I respected
Right.
those Cowboys.
Cowboys.
The Cowboys now, yeah.
That was say year.
It's hit or miss, man. But so yeah, man. So with that said though, a great Cowboy from that era, man. He actually Larry Allen.
Oh man, yeah.
One of the strongest offensive linemen in the history of the NFL, man.
Right.
It's news that just came out. I want to say yesterday, man. They said he just recently passed.
Oh man.
Vacationing with his family in Mexico.
Oh man.
I was gonna say, man, the Cowboys made a statement. This was, I want to say, Sunday. No cause of death. We don't know what it is. But I know he said he passed away at 52 years old.
Okay.
He leaves behind his wife, Janelle, his daughters Jayla and Loriana, and his son Larry the Third.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Just like I was saying before, Larry Allen, man, he is like one of the elite offensive linemen you could think of from that era. I think he was like a member of the 2013 Pro Hall of Fame class.
Nice.
He was only a second round pick out of Sonoma State. Ain't that in Cali?
Yeah.
Okay, out of Sonoma State. He played like every position on the line, all the way. He played from '94 all the way to '07. 11-time Pro Bowler, six-time first team All Pro.
Okay.
Inducted to the Cowboys Ring of Honor in 2011. So I was gonna say, man, I think Larry Allen is definitely one of those unsung heroes of that era. Of course, he didn't have all the flashy stats because he's not the running back, he's not the quarterback, he's not the receiver. But hey, man, you watch, throw that film on.
Yeah.
That is not somebody you wanna be in front of when he playing guard, bro. Like, and the thing is, bro, like I play football, right? Like I played high school, I played college. I did all right. You know what I mean? Like I ain't, my resume ain't too shabby. You know? But hey, man, he was a problem, dog.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want no issues with that man.
He said I wouldn't want no issues.
No issues with that man.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Man, big shout out to the great RIP, man. Sorry, it's hurtful to hear about this saddening news, but definitely want to send prayers out to him and his family, making certain that all well wishes for them in an endeavor.
Yeah, man. Shout out to him, man.
Yeah. I
So
think that's definitely big. Yeah, what's up?
national level,
Yeah.
former president.
Yeah. Your
This
boy.
guy my boy.
Yeah.
Hey, nah, we ain't gonna do that. My boy.
Your boy.
Former president.
Yeah.
Found guilty.
Found guilty. Yep. Yeah.
34 felonies.
Let's start there.
Okay.
34. 34 of them boys.
Shaq.
How do you feel about that?
Okay. So I'm not gonna jump too far. I'm not gonna get too deep into my political bag. Right.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, I never thought that we'd have a president
Never have I ever.
that I never thought that we'd have a felonious president. And the fact that we do, and he gets a chance to run
Once again.
is interesting, to say the least.
I think it's erroneous that felons cannot vote, but we have one who is running for president, and felons still have to pay their taxes.
Yeah.
And this one said he's smart enough where he does not have to pay his
Yeah.
taxes. So, I'm just trying to understand what happens with the no taxation without representation type, vibe
Yeah.
here with this dynamic. And
so-
I'm asking the historian right here, right?
So-
So I need to know.
This is a precedent that's never been set before, right? I think there was the thing that had come up with this as far as like the discrepancy in felons not being able to vote and felons being able to run for president is because I don't think that's something the people that wrote the Constitution planned for.
Right.
Like nobody thought like, hey,
Yeah. He
we-
gonna
we
run it
got-
up.
We got, we got somebody hitting licks, but he's gonna try to run for the top office.
That's cool, right?
You know what I mean? Like nobody
I think that's
ever, you got to think in 1776. Nobody was thinking about, hey, in 2024, we're going to have your boy, pull up with the, like, what's his name? What's that song by Lil B? I got 10 felonies.
Oh,
I got 11 felonies. Like, yeah, nobody could have accounted for that
Right.
because that's not a thing you would think of.
Right.
Nobody thinks that, hey, I live a felonious life. I'm going to get a chance to run for, if we're going to keep it a buck, this is one of the most important, the most important office in the world.
Right.
At this point, just
Right.
because of the fact that, where America is in the geopolitical landscape. You know what I mean? I think no matter where you fall on the political aisle, I don't think this is something I'll be able to reconcile, dog. Like, even if I'm like super left or super like hardcore MAGA, I just don't. I don't.
Like you gotta. I think you have to ask yourself that question, though, right?
Yeah, bro.
I think you have to ask yourself that question, regardless of party. But I think that's interesting. So tell us a little bit more about what happened.
Okay.
You know,
Um,
all the details.
All right. So as far as the actual felony, what we're looking at,
Yeah.
34 counts of falsifying business records to influence the outcome of the 2016 election. Which of course this is an historic verdict because, like we were saying, this has never happened before. This is the first time a former or sitting U.S. president has been convicted of not even just felony, just any kind of criminal charges. Like it's never even been a president that's caught a ticket for jaywalking,
Right,
let alone 34 felony counts. So 12 New York jurors said that they unanimously agreed that Trump falsified business records to conceal, I want to say it was like $130K of hush money payment to
Let me hold some.
film star Stormy Daniels.
Oh, your girl.
Yeah. Why you keep saying my girl? Dang, not my girl. Then we can say that girl. For it, yeah. So there was hush money to be paid to Stormy Daniels to influence the 2016 election. The decision came out after about a day and a half of deliberation, and the thing is, this is only one case of like 4 ongoing criminal cases. So
He got more to go.
yeah. So if we're looking at it, if we're looking at the precedence as being set, there's 34 counts, right? One case. You extrapolate that out. You're over 130 felonies.
130 felonies.
So
at this point, I mean, anybody who got caught with the PPP loan, I need you to free all them rappers.
I don't
dog.
want to hear nothing.
I don't want to hear nothing.
I don't want to hear nothing.
Not a
bruh.
single word.
Right.
I need all them go. They give us free. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't necessarily understand it. And the fact that a lot of his constituency at this point, it's like literally, it's put the battery in their back.
Yeah.
Which is hard for me to understand because I know if I had a candidate, I'm gonna, for all intents and purposes, for the sake of this live, I'm gonna say I'm an independent, right? If I had a candidate that was a felonious criminal, I'm like, hey, bro,
You got some questions.
you gotta sit this one out, big
Yeah.
dog. Like this is it, And so it's kind of alarming that the fact that a lot of like I said, a lot of his constituency, it's like amping them up now at this point. So
So let's talk more about the decision. Like,
Okay.
what's going to transpire if, about, as far as a conviction, things of that nature. What are your thoughts and feelings on that?
okay, I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah.
I don't think anything's gonna happen to him because if it was, it would have already happened. Because think about every person that's been convicted of a felony.
Oh, out of there.
They take them out of the courtroom.
Out of there.
Like
Out of there.
they
Right now.
pull
Yeah,
them
no,
out.
no,
Like,
sir,
oh,
you
you're
got to
a
go.
felon. Oh,
Yeah.
We're taking you somewhere.
You got to go right now.
And so because of the fact that there wasn't like swift action, right? Because they'll take you and hold you until sentencing. That never happened.
Yes.
So because of that, the precedent that they're setting now, that's telling me, oh, he's probably not going to see any real life consequences.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I think
What do you think?
to your point, man, I think that it's wild. It's insane. There is, just on a personal note, right? Just we talk about this all the time. My fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi, you cannot join with a felony, right?
Right.
And even on certain college campuses, period, as a collective, they like, yo,
You might not be on campus.
you might not be on campus.
Yeah.
So the fact that someone could potentially run the country that has that,
Crazy.
that's wild to me. So, I mean, I think it's something that definitely should be talked about and discussed. But again, we don't want to get too deep into the woods. I just think the concept of it is a wild thought process to even quantify. And as you said, I don't even think the founding fathers thought about, hey, this is going to be a problem for
Right.
someone, and we need to make certain that we write this in and address this. So I'm really, really intrigued to see what transpires and see what happens on this event and this endeavor. Really hoping that we get some closure and understanding, and just get down to the bottom of the facts,
Right.
get down to the information that's most important to help people, move on from this.
Yeah, man, we gonna see how it plays out. Just
Yeah.
like I was saying earlier, bro. This is the first case.
Yeah.
he got 3 more, so we gonna see what that final count.
He not betting
It's
1,000.
gonna be.
though right now.
He might hit triple digits once it's all said and done, man. So we gonna see what happens, man.
That's
but
interesting.
on a positive note, man,
Yeah,
let's talk about what's happening in the city, right?
Okay.
So we already
Let's do
talked.
it.
We already talked to the middleman. We already talked to the Brew Brothers.
Yes.
They already talked about their events,
Yep.
right? What else is gonna be happening around town coming soon?
Man, Juneteenth, man. Juneteenth, man.
Wrapping up for Juneteenth.
Juneteenth, man. Art is cool. Freedom Plus Juneteenth Festival. That'll be
Yeah.
happening on June the 8th.
Yeah.
And then also the official Miss Juneteenth Central pageant. That'll also be happening on June the 8th. Make sure you guys check those out. In addition, I believe we have a United Tacos of America, the Black
Yeah.
Mexican Juneteenth parade and
Right.
celebration.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna kind of get into my history.
Yeah,
bag
let's
right
go ahead,
quick.
let's go
So,
ahead.
For people that don't know, there's actually a pretty solid Black Mexican population.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Like in the country of Mexico, along the border, there's like a really big. There's a really big population centered around the border, like Bracketville.
Okay.
Right. So our producer actually did a documentary. I believe they're called like the Muskogos.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So they're based out of Bracketville, Texas, and historically they are from enslaved persons that ran away to Mexico, joined in with the Mexican population, went back and forth between Mexico and the United States. A lot of them settled in Bracketville, Texas, and West Texas along the border.
Yeah.
So that's one. Also, there's a lot of in Mexico's colonial history.
Okay.
There's a lot of Black people that existed, like Mexico's first president.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name? I want to say Vicente Fox.
Yes.
If I got that name wrong, please,
Yeah.
y'all know my heart.
Yeah, charges.
Right. So, Mexico's first president was Afro-Latino.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's very big. That's
right.
very big.
In addition to that, there's a lot of us down in Mexico, especially in the state. I think it's the state of Guerrero, right, man. So shout out to them down there, man. I just wanted to get them to my history bag right quick.
Yeah.
Let's hit the rest of these events so we can wrap up.
Yeah. So make sure you guys check out that United Tacos of America. That's happening
Yes.
on June 11th.
There we go.
Right.
Outside of that, we always talk about Tater Q. They got Thursday night karaoke, man. So if y'all wanna turn up, get some mimosas, man. Get you some drinks. It is kid friendly up until 7 o'clock. So if you want to have a good time with your babies at 7 o'clock, get them out of here, right? So they got to get gone. Take them home, right? Saturday at Tater Q, they got the Saturdays brunch starting at 11:30 in the morning. $3 mimosas, kid friendly all day. Check that out. Also for Tater Q, we got Sunday Fun Day, man. If y'all want to kick it, have a brunch. I don't think this is kid friendly, so I think you got bottomless mimosas on Sunday Fun Day, man. Tap in. I heard they got the women. I heard they got all that. That's
Okay.
not my bag because I'm happily married.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
you,
yeah,
baby.
yeah.
So yeah, I won't be participating in that. But if that's what you're looking for, that's what they got.
Get your bag up. Get your
Right,
bag
right.
up. And for more additional events and programs, make sure that you check out Young Black Austin, also Down South Cajun Eats, and Black Life ATX.
Right, yeah.
But most importantly, this wraps up another edition of the 1 Hour Lunch Break. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We appreciate your love and support. Big shout out to our production behind the boards, Cafe Yodo. You can find him, and salute to Dawa Studios.
Y'all know where to find us. Streaming on all platforms. Don't forget to tap in with us on all social media. You can find us on X at 2HLB Pod and on on X at the 2 Hour Lunch and on Instagram at 2HLB Pod. Thank you for tuning in. We out.
And we back. Zeus P, St. Jude. Let the light in, man. It's the 2 Hour Lunch Break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2 Hour Lunch Break live from Lady Bird J. Lay.
Coming to you live, putting on for they
This
city.
is that 2 Hour Lunch Break live from Lady Bird J. Lay.
They got every
And we back. Zeus P, St. Jude. let the light in. Man, it's the 2 hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in.